Hi everybody, how are you doing? This is your favorite host sjsrana for July 17, 2021, time about 12:17 hours UTC. We're going to discuss various global topics and let's see what Sun Cycle 25 is to do with our global patrons and the newcomer on our solar system 2014
Hi everybody,
UN
how are you doing?
271.
This is your favorite host sjsrana. This is July 17, 2021, time about 12:17 hours UTC. So we are going to discuss a wide range of topics today, as I've been bringing up most of the topics which are concerning the global events. As we know, I've been warning, I've been alerting the world regarding how things are going to shape up, because we are having a lot of changes in this whole world, from the galactic scale to intergalactic scale to even what's going on locally at our solar system, even if you see the climate change or the planetary change. So those topics are prime importance to us, because our existence depends on where we live and what's our neighboring planetary system or solar system or galactic system doing. So all in all, I have been telling that we will be entering cycle 25 Sun. Sun is going to do some bizarre phenomena, which is coupled with a lot of CMEs and flares, which I've already warned in my July 14th video, where I've told that the sun cycle 25 has already begun, and we're going to see some bizarre changes on the planet Earth. See, everything on this world is interconnected. We are living in multi-dimensional world. We are living in multiverse world. Although the average human, which is almost 89% of people, can't see the other side of the world, but those very few, select few, which are almost about 5 to 7% of the people, get to see the multiverse. And some of those few lucky ones who see the multiverse know what's going beyond the scenes. And that's the whole phenomena which is being unearthed or being discovered by CERN in Switzerland. What they're trying to do there, we already know. That's another topic I will discuss in length. They are trying to split the particles, which are at a very high speed with a very high force, 12 kV, 12 mega kilovolts, electron volts, and those speeds at those high energy, what you get is exactly the most basic building blocks of the matter. And once you get to know those building blocks, you can basically unravel the mysteries of the universe, the whole cosmos. So what we know so far, that Sun is going to enter cycle 25, which is already there, and now we're going to see a lot of CMAs directed towards the Earth. I've already told water-related disasters just on July 14th, where I was just incidentally predicting that Germany is going to witness a water-related disaster. And it so happened that by the night of July 15th, I predicted on July 14th on my video. On July 15th, we saw Germany registering the biggest downpour of the rain in just 1 hour. And we have seen almost more than 110 fatalities. It's very tragic. My heart pours to them, but had they listened to my video released on July 14th, 2021, they would have basically saved themselves. I've also warned India, because that same intervening night, India, just a day before, had a massive flash of lightning hitting the Dwarka temple in Gujarat, which is the western front of India. And I've said that there are going to be multiple disasters water-related in India. So all those things going in line with Sun cycle 25. Also, what we are seeing is bizarre, strange phenomena all across the globe. Look at what's going on in Iceland. Yes, folks, I want to draw your attention for a minute that the Iceland is spewing the volcano. It's having the lava flow there. Can you ever imagine? Iceland was always covered in ice, also so together. But now the Iceland is one place where you can witness both of the nature's extremes, the extreme cold as well as the lava, the fountain of lava flowing there. So that's another bizarre phenomenon. Just about 2-3 days back, this whole wall of that volcano collapsed. It was also another major event. So all these things are going on, folks, all around the world. You got to open up your eyes and see what the climate catastrophe is happening all around. So this climate catastrophic events, which are going to escalate to my understanding way beyond our comprehension. And people do keep asking me that you keep predicting things, but most of the time it boils down to your predictions that you say that there are going to be climate calamities. Well, I keep saying that because there are many other things which are factored in. You look, who could have predicted pandemic 2020, which is COVID-19? Yes, I did predict in July 2019 that we're going to have a World War III type situation, and I see everybody hiding, everybody trying to see like something working like a world war. So all these predictions, I did make it because I could see through my visions on a global scale what's going to happen. And these events are to shape humanity and to tell humanity that they are better to save themselves from upcoming calamities, maybe Mother Nature wrath, you call it. All these things which I'm trying to tell or pre-warn is for the betterment of humanity. Now, if you look how we're going to shape up in coming event, I've already predicted that we're going to see Olympics 21 as very different. And in my July 14th, 2021 video, I've already tried to explain that this Olympic 21 is quite strange because we are at the middle of the pandemic and we're going to witness a huge surge due to the Delta variant and Delta Plus from India. We are also going to see new variants, and I've also predicted by December 2021 we're going to have airborne viruses. Yes, folks, it's coming. Just be prepared for it. And you keep asking me the reasons. I have many reasons which I keep telling every time, but people are not ready to accept the truth. The problem with the world is somehow they're trying to have their own indoctrinated facts, and those indoctrinations are coming directly some of the government agencies who are trying to say, oh, there's a lot of misinformation going around with COVID-19. You know, recently Biden was commenting the same. And I want to ask, what misinformation? When you have the largest, biggest mass media campaign, how could those small misinformation flourish through? This is just trying to dodge the bullet, folks. If they can't handle, US supposed to be number one in medical facilities, healthcare system, but they are number one in COVID-19 fatalities. So that's where is the misinformation? Is it coming from CDC? No. Is it coming from the your healthcare system? No. It's coming right from the senators who are not able to answer this direct question that how to address COVID-19 pandemic. How are they going to shape up the world? How are they going to make sure that everybody is vaccinated in time? Who wants to be vaccinated? I don't want forceful vaccination, folks. That's one thing to be very clear. Who is going to address the problem of the massive surveillance state? You know, states, whether democratic or communist, they keep fighting about that. But democratic states don't fare well. Look at India, massive surveillance state. Do they ask individuals when they are doing a massive surveillance that where are your rights? Their rights are being infringed upon. And if you are trying to do it, and to those people who are innocent, who are God-loving, or who are following the moral and ethical code, then you are violating your biggest outlook of being democratic. And that's where the virus comes into being. Because virus say, okay, you are super nature, let's try to teach you some lesson. That's why India is number 2 in pandemic. Look at India is already 31 million. And I predicted almost a year back when they were just not even in number 10. So this is all because of what we do. Our moral and ethical obligation lies towards the citizens. If we are not able to do that duty well, then God forbid, we're going to see many things which we won't be able to explain. Also, look at the Olympics. We know it's middle of the pandemic, but if it's going through and everybody's accepting it, I'm with them because I'm with the people's mindset. We're going to see whose nations fare far better. Obviously, there's a stick competition between China and India because both of them hosting 1.4 billion population. Together, China and India constitute about 25% of the Earth population. So they should be getting at least bagging most of the medals. But we know China bags in top 3, but India is not even in top 5 or top 7. What's the reason behind it? Well, you figure it out. Why such laggedness when India is already hosting International Yoga Day? So what's good that Yoga Day when you can't even score in top 3 of the nations having 1.4 billion population, and you can't still keep up your folks having International Yoga Day, that you can't even come and compete in International Olympics. So this is something we're going to do introspection. Okay, also I'm gonna quickly move on that, a lot of things which we are coming to see in the age, not even the bizarre comments which are gonna come up from the audit cloud, which we've already seen 2014 UN271, which is gonna make close approach towards Saturn on 2031. We are going to witness bizarre events related to that. Again, I want to tell you, we are living in an electric verse, and this electric universe, which is another topic I'm going to discuss in detail, is going to do a lot of things, a lot of bizarre things. So as and when this 2014 UN 271 approaches, this heavenly body, we are going to see massive amount of changes towards Earth, not even Earth, whole towards till the sun. And sun is going to flare out with 20 cycle 25 and what other events are going around the globe. So folks, be prepared for blackouts, be prepared for lightning strikes. We got to minimize these things now. And I keep saying, because all around my house where I live, here in India, 150 miles north of New Delhi, which is SAS Nagar Mohali, I have everywhere planted green trees. All around 3 sides of my house is covered by green trees, even though I could have good gardens. But no, I opted for greenery because I wanted to have something where you could release oxygen, you could prevent these lighting effects, you could prevent those global catastrophe climate changes so that you stay green. So I want to give this message that we got to take care of planet Earth. This is the only planet you have so far where you can survive and thrive. Mars is quite a dream, right?
Okay, what we're going to look here is the new revolution which is already sweeping the whole globe, from Boston Dynamics Spot that were released 5 years back, and we have seen Spot working many places, but we are seeing this robot revolution all across the world, and you can see where many places they are assisting, but at the same time we still have those memories from Terminator, where we saw robots taking over and the AI taking over. It was very amazing recently because I play a chess game a lot and I keep analyzing the chess games. I was basically reviewing AlphaZero from Google and the Stockfish, their game, and I've been reviewing them closely because they have released almost over 100 games on artificial intelligence, the chess being played by AlphaZero from Google, and I'm very amazed, their moves they make and the strategy the artificial intelligence AI robotic system is deploying over the chess games, and the moves and the strategizing is very, very phenomenal, folks. You got to take a look. They have released almost 10-12 games for the public, but there are almost 100 games which they played. Many of them have not been released. It's very secure channel you have to get it from. Anyways, moving on quickly, it's a bizarre world. Whatever is going across the globe as a climate catastrophe, I hope these AI engines try to come up with some plan, because this calamity over the climate is going to be enormous. When we look at the Indian recent lightning, you look at the most of the chunk which Indian people suffer from natural calamities, right from the compilation of data 1967 to 2019, mostly they have been from the lightning. Recently, about 4 days back, there was a flash of lightning which instantly killed almost about 72 people in just about 2 days. So the phenomenon of lightning in India is increasing multifold as I'm predicting the weather-related disasters, because the reason is that we are not trying to pay attention to the climate change, the climate catastrophe, the climate crisis, folks, because the urbanization and the density of population residing in a small cluster is basically going to cause huge problem. Look at these graphs from India. Where do you see it's going down? Right from 1967 to 2020, the whole graph is going up. The number of strikes of the lightning killing people was one of the worst state is Madhya Pradesh, MP, followed by Bihar and UP. So they all circle around those states, and the reason being is those are not the green states. Those are open barn lands, or those are states where the huge population density reside, especially the UP state of India, Uttar Pradesh, especially the Bihar, where there's a huge population explosion. And when you find such lightning striking them, it's not that Mother Nature is trying to warn them that they are going to be calamities, they're going to be the consequences. These are called repercussions. So folks, I keep telling again and again, we got to pay close attention to climate crisis, from solar cycle 25 to the new existence of the system which has come and entered into our solar system, 2014 UN 271. they are going to be bizarre patterns. I've already been telling, I will be telling in future videos how they're going to interact with our electric system, the electric universe, and many things are going to unfold in just time to come. So you can call it yourself very lucky. You have the front row seat, sitting and having to enjoy all these global catastrophic events or the global intergalactic events which are going to take place. So I just want to caution here India that they better prepare up some plan for this urbanization and standardization, how they're going to cope up with these natural calamities which are going to come forward. Especially India is running through the monsoon season right now, and they have to do some endeavor where they're going to save the environment and the planet, and how much green or how much greenery they're putting up. That's why I keep having around my house, if you look at my location here from satellite or from wherever, you will see I've been trying to have 3 areas covered living under the urbanization of Chandigarh, or one of the most, you can say a green city, but at the same time very popular and very populous city of the northern region of India. I still have a lot of plantations around green. I did myself planted trees across, so all 3 areas of my house are covered by that, and I'm already living solar for last 12 years, and I've been on a solar cells. So folks, we got to take a look. Talking of the calamities, we're going to look at these recent figures released by the British Academy, that there have been 20% rise in deaths, fatalities, yes, due to the alcohol. Yes, guys. Yes, folks, people are boozing out there during the COVID-19 lockdown time, but there have been a huge number jump on the deaths. So all these things are indication that where we are heading towards, if it's not pandemic COVID-19 alone, but what are the consequences? You can call it a mental health sufferings due to COVID-19 lockdowns, or due to the depression of finance, or due to the depression of the health system, whatever you may call it, but these numbers are not looking good, folks. While we see UK suffering from this excessive alcohol deaths, fatalities, we see US suffering from the opioids crisis. Yes, folks, this is a forgotten topic under the cover of COVID-19. If you look at Biden and Kamala administration, they joke about, or they just have a fun, they have a giggle, and they keep giggling all around, and they try to put up the nonsense issue in front. Recently I saw Biden was releasing some video statement when asked by a reporter. He's even attending such stupid questions where he's saying, there's a lot of misinformation about COVID-19 and that's killing more people. What? Are you kidding? Are you joking people around? It's not the misinformation, it's your mishandling of the healthcare system. It was overwhelmed. Okay, and if there is misinformation, you got to show and proof. Why don't your FBI or CIA agents go and nab those people who are spreading mass and misinformation? Given, folks, you got mass media coverage. People in US, I don't know what's going on after Trump. Well, I don't want to comment much about it, because Biden and Kamala administration, to me, with the open border policy, with all around giggling around, has not come up with any concrete proof how they're going to revamp the economy, how they're going to address the COVID-19 disaster in US, how they're going to address the open border policy, how they're going to do the immigration reforms. There are so many topics. I don't even touch anymore US, because I don't think it's going the track where it's supposed to go. Now I leave it out to the US citizens who voted. There are about 340 million US citizens who voted for this administration. They got to cope up. They got to have the answers from their senators. Okay, folks, quickly jumping on what's going on with the India COVID-19 disaster. We know India had a second disastrous wave of COVID-19 after leadership said, oh, we have basically won over the COVID-19. Well, the wave 2 of COVID-19 taught India a severe lesson, and how their healthcare system is totally substandard, and so are the big pharma substandard, supplying HCQ pills to the world, but rest whatnot. But you see there are going to be 0.4% people deaths, fatalities after COVID-19 vaccination in India, Delta Health India. So we see that India has a vaccination. There are 2 vaccinations in India which are under the Make in India program known as Covaxin and COVID Shield, and one is produced by the Bharat Biotech, and those recently they released the phase 3 trials after very long awaiting. I've been putting up many questions, why you don't release phase 3 trials. They come up with the phase 3 trials saying that it's having 77% efficacy compared to Sputnik 5, Moderna from US, or Pfizer from US, or even the AstraZeneca or other vaccines from UK, which are having more than 90% efficacy. So folks, there is definitely some shady business which India is trying to hide right? It's trying to always do some obfuscation. I know India very well. When they can't do the things right, when they can't convince people, they try to basically, if they can't convince, they say confuse them. That's what the obfuscation drive of India does, and many government officials are involved in that. I see many times when my identity, I see sabotaging, or my identity is fluked, or my identity is mismanaged. I see what's going around the scene. So this is something which is coming on the face of India, vaccine producer. India is the biggest pharma for the whole world. It's called the pharma powerhouse, and you understand what's going on when they have so many reinfections or fatalities after taking the vaccination. What's the authenticity or what's the quality of India vaccine? Remember, never forget that WHO authorized India vaccines under the emergency provisions. Yes, folks, only under the emergency provisions WHO authorized India vaccines. India made vaccines. Okay, recently there was a big spat, and there was big spillover all over US fighting over the India produced AstraZeneca vaccine. Yes, it's a copycat vaccine, originally from British and other areas where India tried to produce, but France and Italy and other nations quickly banned it because they know the substandard India vaccines are going to do more harm than to do any benefit. It's a debatable topic. I don't want to delve much deeper into it because the facts don't lie. You got to look at the facts and then come up why France, Italy have come up with this resolution, whereas Germany is totally blindfolded. They are even allowing India Covaxin travelers into Germany and into Europe, which is a big blunder. I already cautioned Angela Merkel and Germany in my 2-3 videos back that they have done a big blunder by allowing India travelers who have gone through Covaxin and COVID Shield from India made vaccine to be allowed in Germany and whole Europe. So these kind of blunders when Germany is trying to commit, what do you expect from Germany? Recently, I was terribly shocked, which I already predicted, that Germany underwent this, bizarre disaster of natural disaster of the flooding. And I have already warned that on my last video on July 14th. On, if you see at 26 minutes, I have warned Germany that you're going to see this. So all these things are correlated, folks, but I try to tell them in bits and pieces that this is coming up. But if they don't pay attention, I am just worried about the Biosecurity Act. I don't know what UNSC has been doing so far so long, and world leaders have been doing so far so long. They have not enacted or drafted any global Biosecurity Act. What I mean by Biosecurity Act is where we're going to watch over what nations and who is going to govern, where green nations are, where what people will be allowed, what not be allowed, based on a simple fact that where there is going to be epicenter of new viruses or mutations, those nations should be curtailed or be under self-isolation, like India running through Delta variants or Delta plus. They must be put under self-isolation. Regardless of what vaccination they achieve, India so far has not achieved more than 400 million vaccination for its 1.4 billion population. Compare that to China, which has achieved almost 1.2 billion vaccination, which is 93% of their population, which is also having 1.4 billion population just like India. So when we compare the neighboring nation China and India, India is always substandard. Whether they produce the vaccine or they do the vaccination or what they say to the world or what they try to mean, this is something where we got to be very cautious, and this comes under the Biosecurity Act. So folks, this is my message. Canada recently has banned India travels directly. Flights from India cannot land into Canada. This is the same concern which I'm trying to raise. Canada is proactive, and their government has come to know that India substandard vaccines or even India travelers are basically forging the documents of COVID-19 tests and trials. Yes, folks, Canada has dozens of travelers from India who landed on Canadian airport were caught red-handed having the dubious or fake fabricated COVID-19 results, where they were proven that, okay, those were positive of COVID-19, but they have a fake report from India, from some lab of India, that they are negative. So this is what's going on, and Canada is doing a proactive action. So should Germany, France, Italy, Greece, Switzerland, Europe, UK. Everybody should take a look at the global biosecurity. Those nations which are flouting, or they are forging the data of COVID-19 results should be put under a global ban, because they are putting harm's way the other citizens who are going through the right way, or the just way of traveling. So many other issues, folks. This COVID-19 is ain't going away. I tell you, third wave on India is arriving in August. They keep saying, oh no, it's late August, this and that. They're all trying to just fudge the numbers. Somehow they want to do their celebrations and enjoy life. They don't know by August they should start lockdown again. The beginning of the August, India should start lockdown. If they don't do it, then you understand how well India government is going to handle biosecurity for the world, because they really don't care what happens to the world. They are only caring about themselves and how they're going to export maximum human resources from India to elsewhere in the globe. Okay, folks, quickly jumping on many other topics. The Olympics 21 is right in front of us, where again the biosecurity draft we are going to see in fruition. If they have something in action, then it'll be seen, or else the Olympics may again trigger the new wave of mutations, because recently they have asked that the top performers who are going to be having the medals are going to themselves wear the medals. Folks, I want to ask, if all these events are happening, all these people are doing all the games of Olympics, and you just want to say that when you want to put the medal, the athlete, the top performing athlete is going to catch COVID-19? What joke. This is called misinformation. Biden, if you're listening, this is the misinformation. You got to take a look at the jab, what they're trying to put and show in the world. So, well, a lot of things which are not in line, where we're going to put up some really good biosecurity for the planet Earth. Quickly moving on to India, where they're trying to come up with the anti-human trafficking bill, which is already in drafts, and it will be released in the monsoon parliament session of India. I hope they get through this, because India is already suffering with massive amount of human trafficking agents spread across India in millions. Daily they are doing all this shady business of supplying girls, minor girls, and everybody's watching just like that. Recently, India High Court, we applaud. They have a very good judgment where they uphold the conviction of a person who were having non-penetrative sexual enslavement and abuse of the females. So, folks, we got to take a look at this. These are some of the very horrific, horrendous cases of India every day, which is occurring. Every day, 5 years old girl, 9 years old girl are exposing India massive sexual predators. Looking at the global tally of how India and China is faring up, you see China has been on top. And there is also good news about the China. It's doing a very good business. India has seen 62% jump of exports to China. So India and China mutual benefit, or mutual, you can say bilateral ties, are doing very good, except and despite the fact that they're having live border disputes every now and then. See, the border disputes between India and China is quite long. You look at the 1947, where India got freedom from the UK rule, whereas China was still trying to come up and fight for its freedom, because it got freedom in 1949. So 2 years late down the line. What India got from Britishers was the leftover part, of the Tibet, south regions of the Tibet. This is the problem which India government never tried to understand, that in 1947 China was not born. So obviously they're going to have dispute over the border, because when in 1949 China became sovereign nation, China asked, hey, to the India, where is my regions? You have covered my regions as well. They say, no, we got gift from the UK. They say, what gift from the UK? Tomorrow you're going to take Hong Kong and say it was a gift from UK. Tomorrow you're going to take, Kashmir. Tomorrow you're going to take every region of that. See, the Kashmir is still a disputed territory, despite India claims. The fact of the matter is that Kashmir is divided into three parts. You can say occupied parts, occupied Pakistan, occupied China, occupied India, that way. Because Kashmir people wants to tell only one message, that they want to have a publicized under UN resolution 1948. So folks, there are a lot of disputed topics, and that's why India is preparing up all these nuclear missiles. You can see India is racing ahead. It has got a lot of new missiles, Agni, Prithvi, and Dhanush missiles, short range, long range, because it knows its tomorrow final battlefield is the round 2 of 1962 with China. India already knows it. They're preparing every now and then towards the final battlefield, which is round 2 of 1962, which is the final battlefield with China. So I think China either resolves amicably, or try to get its disputed territories back from India, or else I think it's better they prepare out this flashpoint how they're going to fight it, because eventually it's going to come. And people of China and India, 1.4 billion together, don't want to hear a surprise nuclear thermonuclear war. So it's better they chalk out some strategy how they're going to do a battle if they are to do it, which I think it's inevitable. China and India war is inevitable, folks, and I tell you, India and China are preparing for it. So coming to the topic, that the regional security also includes this biosecurity. Tomorrow you never know what pathogens might be there out there. So India leadership, especially PM Modi, is preparing up, gearing up for its party, the ruling party BJP, which is going to be seeing the national elections 2022, and it's already having support from the current Karnataka leadership, which is not under the BJP right now, but they're pouring the supports. You can call the reshuffling going on. So is the local over here with the Congress party, which is another opponent of ruling party of India, BJP. They are also trying to come up with this new strategies. Recently we saw the ruling party Congress here in Punjab having to come up with the new young leadership of Mr. Sidhu, which is standing against the captain, who was a long-standing leadership of Punjab here. So a lot of things are going to happen, folks. 2022, India is going to run through the election. It's a democratic way of electing the right government, and what people demands, what people want. I hope they get through the new good government. Quickly jumping on the CGI, the Chief Justice of India, Mr. Ramanan, has clearly stated that they want to change this colonial era sedition law, which is under 124A IPC. The sedition law is so broad, and it's a blanket statement where they can nab and arrest anybody under the sedition law. It's a Dredeckerian law, and it's old colonial law, which CGI rightfully has addressed that they want to change it and address it in the right way. Also, we look at how India is addressing this WhatsApp. Almost 20 lakh, or you can say 2 million people have been banned from WhatsApp. India is already having an uphill battle with Twitter. Recently, they had a battle with Twitter, Facebook, over the censorship and over the content that is being put on the Twitter. So Twitter basically subdued under the Indian government, has accepted whatever India government has demanded over the contents on the microblogging site of Twitter, which I do believe that there's a lot of legal battle and a global human rights where every nation must fall to this common standard. Okay, folks, looking at the global tally of COVID-19, we see India quickly catching up with the US as number one, where India has already crossed 31 million, quite easily approaching US with 34 million. And we see China is globally helping the nations with 500 million aid of vaccination all across the world, which it has distributed. It is already planning for next 2 years 3 billion aid for its vaccination drive and rest other different help which are going to provide to the nations which are being impacted by the COVID-19. So very good effort from China we see, and just take a listen to this clip.
To be approved by the country. Sinovac was given the green light in March and a single-dose CanSino jab last month. Malaysia has been ramping up its vaccination drive, which started in February this year. About 13 million doses have been administered so far, with over 4 million people fully vaccinated.
Okay, folks, quickly we're going to run into some bizarre phenomena. This bull runs into a house, having a bullfight with another bull. I don't know what was the thing or theme going in the mind. Maybe the bull says no more gay rulings here, or they're going to attack the gay people. I don't know what's going on, man. It's so laughable. The bull just simply landed from the streets to a house where many of the male people were sitting together discussing some business or their usual day chores. So you can see this clip is so phenomenal. It simply puts me into different laughable situations. Okay, folks, this is very tragic news from Germany. Almost 100 and over 110 people have died in Germany recent flooding, and this is all global climate catastrophe which is developing in front of our eyes. And if we don't address and reform global climate crisis, folks, we're gonna see it everywhere. Same situation. It's very tragic. My heart pours to the people of Germany. But I tell you, Germany folks, people, I warned you in my July 14th video. You can take a look under YouTube sjsrana and try to see at 26 minutes. You will see I warned Germany people that they're going to be Mother Nature wrath, because I could see it coming. My sympathies go for you, and I hope you try to take the cue from Mother Nature now.
The rising death toll has shocked the nation, with many hundreds still unaccounted for.
It is therefore already clear today that our state is experiencing a flood disaster of historic dimensions.
The German government has blamed a rapidly heating planet for the tragedy and pledged to do more to combat climate change.
Only if we take up the fight against climate change decisively will we be
This
able
is
to
where,
screen-
folks, I have on my July 14th video, I warned at 26 minutes that Germany is going to see Mother Nature wrath. Just the intervening night of July 15th where you saw it, but on July 14th I've already pre-warned it exactly at 26 minutes on my video. You can search it on YouTube under this heading and search it by sjsrana.